My name is Ari. I'm from New York and I was born and raised here. About 15 years ago, I was traveling to Southern California for business, and I was working with my sales manager who was training me on how to be a better salesman. Although he worked for me, he was my mentor. And we went into what was at the time a very good customer of ours, and we were talking to the new owner of the business. And I had never met him before, face to face. So one of the things I was taught was find something in his office to talk about. Make it personal to them, takes them off guard, makes them more comfortable. So I saw a poster on the wall that had a picture of Wrigley Field with a couple of tickets. So we started talking about baseball. And although I'm a baseball fan, obviously there's a lot more in my life, but I shared with them that I had taken my nephew to his very first baseball game. Took him to Yankee Stadium, and it was great, it was exciting. And I had said, I gave him a choice. He could either see a Broadway show or go to a baseball game, and he chose baseball. And the client, without even hesitating, turned to me and says, well, at least you know he's not gay. And I paused, and I said, and what would be wrong with that? And then I shut up, laughed it off, moved on with the sales meeting. And I walked out of there embarrassed for myself. My sales manager knew I was gay. The customer obviously didn't. But we continued on, and we were driving, and we get to a light, and I said, I'm never doing that again. And he said, what? I said, well, I'm never going to be made to feel embarrassed or ashamed for who I am. If he had said something about me being Jewish, I would have picked myself up and walked out of that office and said, go to hell, you bigoted piece of crap. I don't think he meant anything by it. I don't think he meant to be derogatory, but it certainly made me feel that way. And by no means was I going to ever allow that to happen again. I'll never again allow anybody to make me feel bad or ashamed for being gay. I don't have to wear it on my shirt sleeve, but I'm not going to walk away. And it was a really hard lesson for me to learn, because it was something that was only to me. Nobody around me could have told me, do it this way, don't do it that way. And my sales manager said, you do what makes you feel right, and that's all that matters. If you're honest to yourself, you're honest to the customer. And that's what they care about.